A few clarifications.
Yes.
I haven't said that they are outing us outside their mandate.
I thought I heard you saying that.
I'm saying that their primary mandate, the purpose for which they were established, at that 2003, when President Obasanjo just established the EFCC, it was not to fight internet fraud, because internet fraud in 2003 was not really what it is today. And I also said that the law empowers them to fight internet fraud. No doubt about that. And let me place on record, I would, contrary to what you have said, describe myself as a friend of the commission. And I'm speaking out of burden in my heart.
Okay.
I can, in fact, I've posted some of them on social media. Pictures, evidence where I have attended programs by the commission, where they used to invite us. I was the person who led the campaign to reverse the scary injunction that was granted in Akwa Ibom to stop EFCC from investigating politicians. I have never sought any favor from EFCC. I have granted several interviews defending actions of EFCC. So if I am now speaking against some of the things I have observed, it is because I want a change. Now, regarding this specific case, Dr. Barton, regarding this specific case, it is not, I don't think the press statement is sufficient at the minimum. Because in the press statement, they have already stated that they have already found the person guilty. What is the basis? I'm saying the public decides...
They said suspected fraud.
No, they said they have reached a conclusion that a case has already been established against him. Look at it. How did you reach that conclusion? Now, if you have a search warrant, if you look at Part 18 of AJA, Ministry of Criminal Justice Act, the procedure for conducting search in Nigeria is clear. Yes, you can conduct search at any hour of the day. It is not a question of law.
Okay,
they can do that.
Don't let's argue. Don't let's argue. Okay,
I'm just trying to clarify.
It's best Ayo comes in.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Just to further expand, I mean, yes. What you're saying, what they said was preliminary investigations.
Yes.
Showed that Ikechukwu was involved in coding and online medical supplies of doubtful legitimacy. So they didn't say, and they said they're charging him.
Please read the next paragraph.
So he said, then they said they also. 2 laptops and talk about what they recovered. Soap coin in police custody owing to the murderous dimension of his case.
Yes.
The commission will surely bring him to trial. That's what they said.
No, he said his culpability has already been established. He's there. Look at it.
Well, I have it in front of me. I can't see it. But let's move on. So I hear you what you said. And previously we have talked about the modus operandi of the EFCC, how I think we've even had an EFCC official or a security expert talk about how they can better conduct themselves in a more professional way.
Yes.
But what they are saying is that in this case, they conducted themselves in a professional way. In fact, the EFCC has come out with a statement to say that it was a legitimate exercise, that beyond being a Yahoo boy, he's not just a Yahoo boy. Allegedly, he might also have been into ritual killings, kidnapping, and using Yahoo as a front, right? So that's what they are claiming.
Yes.
But in terms, aside that which they are claiming, how could they have better at least approach this? Because they're also saying that he's not, Mr. Ikechukwu saw them on his CCTV camera, but still acted in the way that he acted. I'm just saying this because it's easy to demonize the EFCC and just point fingers, but it's also good to hear that side of the story and hear your balance on that.
Ayo, when was this statement released?
The statement was released, I believe it was...
Between when...
It was yesterday.
When this tragic incident happened, if you look at the lapse of time, that is even questionable. We must demand change in the EFCC. Why did it take so long to release the statement? The gentleman that they arrested, if he is a fraudster, please prosecute him to the full extent of the law. If he fired at the officer wrongly, please prosecute him to the full extent of the law.
Something about even him bearing arms. That a lot of the recent trend is that a lot of these Yahoo boys or these people who are involved in criminal activities are now arming themselves. So the danger of making light of this is that even though whatever the court will decide whether he's guilty or not, is that if we legitimize people holding arms and being able to fire against security operatives, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yes,
don't you agree?
Entirely. But I'm saying, could this have been prevented?
Okay.
Because someone has died. Someone has lost his life. Should we wait for another operative to be killed? And we go back on this same conversation?
So what should we do on both sides?
I am saying
people
that...
arming themselves and modus operandi.
Well, I have not seen the statistics of that. I am saying that...
They claim that that's what's happening.
I am saying that EFCC has to change its modus operandi.
No, you see,
and
no,
the
you
starting
missed the
point.
question. No,
Yes.
she's saying, is it okay for suspects to bear arms and fire at officers?
It is not for anybody to bear an unlicensed arm.
Because EFCC is claiming that that's the recent trend. And I'm saying this because they've said that it is important not to to judge the matter in the case when it hasn't, because we're doing exactly the same thing that you're accusing them of doing.
Okay.
Just hold on 1 second. So in terms of the bearing of arms, I'd like you to even share with regards to how it can be obtained. Can anyone obtain a license in Nigeria? Because if that's the case, then a lot of these Yahoo boys, criminals also have arms, and we say they were acting in self-defense, They thought they were criminals.
No, under the Firearms Act, possession of firearm that is not licensed by the president or the IG is a criminal offense. So if the arm was not licensed, right, that is a crime on its own. So that fact will have to come out.
Of course.
That fact will have to come out. But don't forget.
Can anyone obtain a license? Let me just ask.
No, there are prerequisites. You must be an adult. You must be of good mental state, and so on. Okay. But I am saying that under Section 33 of the Constitution.
Was planning to use it for hunting?
under Section 33.
Was he a hunter? But go on. Please.
Under Section 33. Come on, let's not kid ourselves. Most politicians in Nigeria have firearms.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it legal.
I'm telling you, they have firearms.
Then we should address that challenge. That's what I'm saying.
If we want to have conversation about giving of gun license in Nigeria,
because that's dangerous.
What I am saying is that under Section 33 of the Constitution, there's a constitutional right to self-defense. Self-defense of one's life and one's property. Okay? Now, whether that defense will avail in this case, I don't know. Because the facts have not been put forward.
Anyway, fairness, so.
Yes.
While you were talking, I reread this statement. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no part they talked about that his culpability has been found wanting. I've read it like 4 times over and over. There's no part that they said they found him culpable. The culpability. So I don't know where you saw that phrase. That's number 1. Number 2, all the facts have been clearly stated. Yeah, because see, and I want to bring this point and relate it to what happened in America.
Yes.
Where somebody killed a human being and people were supporting him on social media.
Yes.
Is that not the madness that is now going on social media as we speak as regards this case because people have something against EFCC? I'm not saying EFCC does right in every ramification. Please don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But in this regard, where is the fault of EFCC here?
Well, let me read the statement I have to you.
Yeah.
Though currently in police custody, owing to the murderous dimension of his case, right?
The commission will surely bring him to trial.
Check. They said 2 laptops, iPads, several recording devices were recovered from his apartment, and his involvement in internet fraud is already established. I wasn't wrong. It's there.
Involvement in internet
fraud is already established. That is a statement of culpability.
Culpability of the
the suspect.
Well,
they have said so.
Look, Inibe,
the point I am making.
Before you go after a man, you must have established
Dr. Bat, the point I am making.
So,
yes.
So as I was saying, you said, okay, they said the culpability was already established by this, that the cases of, like Dr. Bati said rightly, before you go, you have made your own research and investigation. That's why you went to the man's house.
Yes.
And when they knock at the door, it's for the man to be able to open up if he's got nothing to hide. Then the man saw them, and there was a fisticuff at first, and he opened fire.
I am saying that.
So, does not make it right.
Yes.
And in fact, after that part that you read in eBay, they still talked about the commission. You see, though in this model, the commission will surely bring him to trial. So there's still a trial. So it's not EFCC that will prosecute him. They will still go to court. So what's the establishment of culpability? It's based on the evidence they already have.
I don't want to be misunderstood.
Yes.
Because this is a sensitive issue. And I reminded you that I have practiced law for 10 years. I have never been part of a defense of anybody charged or accused of corruption in Nigeria, even when those offers have come. That is the principal position that Ganifa Wemi took, that some of us have chosen to follow. Let EFCC point at one case where I have stood up against them on their mandate in court or anywhere, even when those briefs have come. I'm forced to say these things. And I also told you that I have been part of programs by the commission. I have been part of interventions to help them. There are things I may not be able to say here. When I speak this way,
you've said that
it
much.
is because of the frustration some of us have. I'm saying this date possibly could have been prevented.
How?
Because apart from this case, we have seen cases where some...
Let's focus on this one. How? Okay.
They
EFCC stated,
yes,
they went to the man's door and all of that. They got it. If the police say, we are police officers, we are here. A law-abiding citizen say, okay, this is myself, I submit myself. But why did a physical offense do in the first place?
Most times they don't knock, Rufai. If they knock in this case, it would have been an exception. That is not the rule.
So you said
that's not what I am used to.
Have you heard the other man's side to know that they didn't knock in this case? Because this is one part of the story.
Well, that would mean that we should take what they are saying with a pinch of salt.
So have you heard the other man's side? Because
I'm
we can't
saying,
balance this story.
that's why I'm saying,
sides.
you know, I started by saying that my issue with the statement is not even the content. I'm saying that the content is not sufficient. Because if we are going to make these conclusions, they should give us more. Because someone has died.
Yes.
That does not stop prosecution in court. And I'm saying going forward, should EFCC have information that house number 128 on so and so street, that there is an internet fraudster is there,
so
and they should go there and then ransack everywhere? How about cases where they go to hotels?
No, I'm not exonerating.
And assault guests. I'm saying that
so what should they have done in this case?
What they should have done, if you have information, because in fairness to the EFCC, sometimes their problem is that they believe that if they don't use this crude method, they will not be able to recover evidence.
Well, okay.
In fairness to them.
We need to go now.
But I'm saying that going forward, there has to be reform. There has to be confidence and trust building.
What should they have done in this case?
What should they have done?
Yes.
Even on the basis of the statement, they claim they arrested 37 people.
No, what should they have done in this case? How should they have approached this particular case?
Obtain a warrant,
well, we need
go
to
to the house,
we need to
approach the person, and
ask
the person to open the door. If he refuses to, you have the right to break it.
Anyway, we need to go. But just in less than 30 seconds, will you agree that the EFCC, since its establishment, has been more or less a force for good in this society?
EFCC...
Because you seem to be concentrating on, they go to houses, they go to this and that, you know.
EFCC is good. EFCC should not be abolished. That was why I castigated those governors who were ridiculously asking for the EFCC to be, not to exist. However, I'm going to make one final recommendation.
Quickly, please.
Let the executive secretary, if he's listening to me, let him set up a special task force in his office where Nigerians that have grievances can report directly to, just like we have with the police, rapid response.
Only recently he fired some of the officers.
He needs to set up a task force where if you have grievances, you can report. As I speak to you today, I'm not aware that any exists. So if you submit a petition and they don't attend to, or you suspect the officials have collected money, which channel do you make a complaint to?
Okay, I'm sure.
Let him set that up today,
okay,
so that Nigerians will begin to, that confidence building process can start.
Okay. I'm sure they are hearing you.
I hope he takes that seriously.
It was in the basis of that existing feedback process that some officers were turned adrift recently.